And good afternoon, and welcome to Straight Talk. This is your Drive at 5 show, and this is Catherine Tyson, your host. I hope you're having a great afternoon. The day is done. Today is done. Wednesday is done. Yesterday was a tough day. I know some of you might have tuned in and you heard music. Yesterday, my dog died. So it was just one of those really tough days. Her name is Coco, and she's been in my life since 2012. So, we've had a journey. So yesterday, yeah, she passed on. She had a tumor, and if you guys know, if you have a pet, that it becomes a part of your life, a part of your family. It's like one of your children. So it was a tough day for me, but I'm back here today, and glad that you've tuned in. Today's Wellness Wednesdays, and we will be talking about some good stuff. This day, I will shift gears just a little bit, as opposed to just the wellness stuff that we talk about on Wednesdays, the mind, body, spirit. We will be talking about the mind and the spirit and the soul a little bit more, because my guest today is a lady who is inspirational. She's behind a lot of things that you guys might not have even been aware of. And it's hard to get her out of her little background, life that she likes to live. But it is International Women's Month. And I said, I am going to have me some powerhouse women in the house. You all know I'm about that, right? So on Straight Talk today, Wellness Wednesdays, we will be talking to Karen Chin, who is the CLM book publisher and published author, as well as the lady behind Christian Lifestyles magazine. So if you see those things on the stands and you pick them up at any time and you enjoy them and you look forward to them, well, this is the lady that's behind them. So I am so excited to talk with her today. But before I get to that interview that I'm really excited to share with you, I just wanted to share this daily motivation. And this one is so fitting. A successful woman is one who can build a firm foundation with the bricks others have thrown at her.
Awesome.
Love that. Then that was the voice of Karen Chin. Good afternoon, Karen, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. And you're right. You pinned me down finally. And you didn't let me know that it was going to be television. I can do radio, but when it comes to television, it's another thing. So I'm grateful. Thank you for having me. It's been how many invitations now?
A lot.
Oh gosh.
A lot.
Oh,
and you really are that woman that you don't like a whole lot of lights on you. You don't love a whole lot of publicity, but you do that for so many people. And so I think that sometimes we do deserve to kind of be seen and be heard, the force behind so many people, and the fact that you make a way for other people's voices to be heard.
Thank you.
No, absolutely. And it's a necessity, and you have facilitated that for so many years. So tell us a little bit about, I have a little bio of you. It's not much. It's so small. I don't even know what, let me just read it. It's on the back of one of the books. So you are actually a published author, but you go by the pseudonym E.K. Jasmine.
That's right.
So if anyone has seen books by E.K. Jasmine, it's actually Karen Chin herself.
Wow.
And so that's Karen E. Chin. And she's the creator and managing director of Christian Lifestyle magazine, as I mentioned, a family-based publication in the Cayman Islands for the past 10 years, or probably over that now. 12, yeah. Yes. And she's also the CEO of CLM Publishing, and has moonlighted as a radio presenter for well over almost 20 years, I would imagine, right?
That's right.
And so you're married with children, of course. You're married to one of our own Caymanians, so we claim you as ours anyway.
Wow.
And you've written several books, Cayman Islands A to Z, and that's for the young people. They can pick that up. Cayman Islands Trivia, I love that one. We will share some things from that. Unlocking the Prayer of Jabez, I love that. I have that personally. 3 Parrots on a Limb, Before Evil Walks, and Infiltrate.
And that's just a few, right?
Just a few. Well, obviously your
Hearing
background.
It from you, it sounds like I'm too busy.
Yeah, you're pretty busy.
I know. And then I'm doing that for myself and doing so many stuff for others.
Yeah.
But I appreciate being busy.
Not mention all the hats that you wear.
Actually, I got tired the other day because I didn't have anything to do. I don't know if it's possible, but someone said yes, it's possible, because I was going at such a speed for a while that then when I didn't have anything to do, it's like, really, I don't know what to do with nothing.
Yeah.
It's almost like I have to always building something. So
Yeah.
in that gap, I found that I can say no to some things and take a breather. So
Absolutely,
yeah,
and that's
so
healthy, and that's one
yeah.
of the things that I really talk about in Wellness Wednesdays. When I took over the show last year from the amazing Ruthana Young, I said everybody is so accustomed to straight talk, and stepping into someone else's shoes or sitting into somebody else's seat can be a little tough. So I
Mhm.
thought about, okay, what are some of the things that we can do to keep the listeners, kind of engaged and fresh, even though a new person is in the seat. And Wellness Wednesdays was one of those things that just came up to me like right away, because I think about health. I think about
Yeah.
mental health, our physical health, our psychological health, our emotional health. And so what you just said is very much in line with that. And so I
Yeah.
thought today would be a lovely day to talk to you, not only because it is International Women's Month, but because how do you really take care of yourself? And I think writing is very therapeutic for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that might be, some of the reasons why you have been so successful in this arena with all of your writers, all of your people that you've
Awesome.
published books for.
Yeah.
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 So give us a little bit of background about you.
Um, Honestly, I want to talk about something that first thing as I came in here, I want to talk about something about you. So let's switch it back to you. You're a brave woman to do a drive time talk show.
Really? You think so?
Yes,
Why?
because drive time, a lot of people who think of drive time, you want to hear music, 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 music. I just keep going, 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 going. But you have kept the ball rolling with this 5 o'clock, real talk at 5. So that's kudos to
Yeah.
you to
Thank you.
accomplish that.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah.
Obviously, it was not. This is not an original idea of mine. I've always thought about what a good time to
Engaging.
get an audience, right?
Hmm.
And so Ruthana had carried this torch for 3.5 years, and
Wow.
she and I talk about that, and we talk quite often because I love her. She's amazing. She just wanted to step back. She wanted to focus on her little baby and all that stuff, you know. But the thing is, what she really was saying is that let's keep a woman on the air.
Awesome, awesome. I love her already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think it wasn't really a bravery per se. It was just like, you know what? We're going to keep
yes,
talking.
yes,
And
okay.
here's the time to talk to people about stuff that they really want to hear. And
Yeah,
sometimes they might have the question, but they're not asking the question.
right, right.
And so here's someone else making a statement about a question that they might have had.
Okay,
And
so
so they get an answer.
so I deflected about talking about me. Okay, so I got in the arena, publishing arena, in a sense. I wouldn't say by accident. They found me and I responded to the call. But I started out with Christian Lifestyle magazine. You could say I know the dictionary meaning for pagination and all of those wonderful stuff, but when it comes to layout magazine and doing a few other stuff, it wasn't in the ball. And I was wondering where and how to get the started. So in the time that Net News was around, I hooked up with a good friend of mine, Revella. We've been friends since too long. I don't know, it's so long. And I said, Revella, I'm gonna start a Christian magazine, but I don't know, where to go with this. And she was working at Net News at the time, and she said, oh, and she put me onto someone, and that person became my graphic designer, and all of the other stuff fell into place. So it was
Nice.
a smooth transition for me, but like I said, I didn't know to lay out a magazine at the beginning. I just knew that I wanted to do this business. It's not here, and I wanted to get going. So you can accomplish anything if you set your mind to it. Because
Wow.
apart from knowing that pagination in the dictionary what it means, I didn't know to let pages, lay out pages, and so on. So
I love
getting
that.
into that part of the arena was, kind of dive in and then learn after.
Right.
And about a year later, someone approached me that they like a particular cover of the magazine. A guy was visiting here, and he likes the cover of the magazine, and so he wrote back to his publisher in the states that he saw this magazine. He likes this was a broken chain. It's like break free from whatever you're imprisoned with, and your thoughts or your mind or whatever. And he likes the cover. Sent it back to his publisher back in the states. I would say that the publisher emailed me by mistake, but I would say it was good timing because he was emailing back the author saying, "Oh, yeah, I saw the cover. Yes, we can work with it." And but the email came addressed to me,
Okay.
so it came to editor at CL, back the email address. So I said, okay. So I emailed him and said, you sent an email to me instead of your author. And so we got talking, and he said, "So are you a publisher there?" And I said, "No, we just do the magazine." And he said, "Why are you just at the magazine only?"
Wow.
And so my first client came from the state, actually. My
Oh,
first
wow.
published book.
Okay.
This guy, this new author, wanted to publish a book, and he wanted to come out of the rat race per se.
Okay.
Just and so we talked, and he walked me through it, and within a year and a half, I got my license switch over to publishing books rather than just a magazine locally, because you have to get it in line here and also get all the connections from the US, like Bulker and all of the other wonderful work that comes with responsibility of
Right.
publishing.
Right.
I got registered with them, um, got all my copyrights through the copyrights office, the US copyrights office, and get everything in line, and the rest, as they say, is a presence.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a present.
Well, I can tell you what. So before we fly ahead, because it sounds like you can tell me your whole story in 10 minutes, and I know that's what you're going to try to
That's
do, but it
Thank
is
you.
absolutely not going to happen. So
Awesome.
let's go back to go forward. So
Mhm.
what year was that you started
To
that
eight.
the magazine?
Two,
2008.
2008. And actually, going back to an interesting story from the magazine, I was in Europe at the time when I left a note. I left a lot of letters when I wanted to start back in March this year. Actually, we are exactly 13 years this March, and I left some notes or a letter to send out to each church to invite authors to come on board, or even anywhere I could get the email sent. I sent out an email, sent letters, and so I was in Europe when I got a call from Lennon Christian, my first
Nice.
writer,
And Leonard
called
might be
me.
listening because I've seen him a couple of times and he says he's tuned in. So
Yes, Lennon Christian, and he called me, and to this day I'm saying, wow, to get my first author. He actually was visiting another church, not his regular church. He was visiting St. George's Church up in Prospect area,
okay.
and the Anglican Church. No, not St. George's. It's up in the Anglican, from
Okay.
Prospect there. And he actually called me and he said, I heard that you're starting a magazine. I would like to offer my service as a writer. So for years, Lennon actually carried us as the main writer in the
He's a great
magazine,
writer.
and
He's a great writer.
he, anywhere there's an event, he go and take the pictures for us. So our pictures always looking, top of the line and so forth. Lennon, we
Nice.
miss you. Yeah,
Shout out to Lennon. Yeah,
yes,
because he's not even doing that right now. I think he's doing some photography, but he is a
yeah,
great writer. He's been
yes, yes.
with newspapers for a very long time. So
So
2008 Christian Lifestyle
the
magazine
actual joke is when
started.
he called me and I said, "Who is this?" And he said, "Who it is?" I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't take a long distance call. I'm actually in Europe. If you don't mind, I don't want to cut you off. I really, 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 really want you on board, but I can't pay my phone bill later. So, I'm enjoying Europe. So I don't want to use it for phone bill. But anyway, it was a joke between us. And I said, please, we'll connect when I get back. And we did. And we stayed like that for
So that was
years.
the story of when you were broke. Praise the Lord.
I was in Europe broke. Yeah,
Well,
thank
I'm
you.
just saying,
Thank you. That's
right?
a good one.
So being broke in Europe 2008, imagine.
Imagine that.
That's right. That's
Awesome.
right. Yeah.
Awesome.
We got to start
I
somewhere
know,
in
I
Europe.
know, I know. And he's probably going, oh, this woman is real good to be on a vacation in Europe
Exactly.
and
Talk
starting
about
a
phone
magazine
bill. Talk
and
about
talking about
phone
phone. Thank
bill.
you. No, man, it was ridiculous then.
Yeah,
You say
no, I
hello
know.
and your phone bill becomes,
I know. And you come home after vacation, it's like, what is this? This was roaming charges? Are you
yeah,
kidding?
yeah.
Exactly. So 2008 Christian Lifestyle magazine was born. And
Hmm.
so how many magazines have you published then? Do you know? Do you
Ah,
have a count or you
we've
don't
done,
know?
we are at our 75th one.
Oh,
And
wow.
so it's been, we started out actually, when you start out a race, you have all this energy.
Right.
So we started out as a bi-monthly,
Yeah.
after the second year, and the big bill, because to put out one is like
Right.
some good thousands of dollars
Right.
to
Of
put out
course.
each issue.
Of
So
course.
it's like, Okay, we
Yeah,
can run, but let's run a little
let's jog.
slow. Yeah,
We'll
so
get there.
and then we started doing
Monthly.
monthly.
Did you
You're
do monthly? No.
crazy
So it
girl.
was it was bi-monthly, you said?
Yes.
How you calling somebody crazy on the radio? You've been on the radio 17 years.
Thank you, girl.
These people.
I know, but if we couldn't continue on bi-monthly, how we could? But the Lord provides. I know you're in faith mode.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you something that honestly, there are some times in your life you must not be employed by these three things at the same time:
What's that?
doubt, broke,
Writing it down. Doubt. Okay.
you're not
Broke.
you're low in finance,
Uh-huh.
and low in friendship.
Okay.
Honestly, do not be try not to get yourself employed at the same time in those avenues
Right.
because those they're not
Yeah. You either gotta have a lot of faith, a lot of money, and a lot of friends.
right. You gotta either have a lot of faith, a little bit of friends
With
sometimes,
money.
or yeah, but but don't have all three
Yeah.
employment at the same time. So
Yeah.
speaking of, as we started with the bi-monthly, then we had to go to quarterly because it stretched the funds a little bit more to. And it takes a lot to come up with the next issue right behind the other,
Right,
right
of
behind the other. So
course.
it
It's a
was
lot
too
of
much
work.
energy to put out bi-monthly,
Yeah.
bi-monthly, monthly. So
Okay.
we slowed
So
down.
you went quarterly.
Yes,
Okay.
and we kind of stuck with that one. It works better.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that would mean you have, is it
four per year.
for a year?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And so that's still been the consistent thing that you've done,
Yes,
and you've been
yes.
able to manage that.
That's yes,
All
yes.
right. Good.
Breathe.
Okay. So when can people expect it then? Like when those four times? When
We publish it. We have a weird table for the December one because it's almost like you can't publish it in December and then turn around one for January.
right.
So we have been kind of merge the December and the January together.
Okay,
So
nice.
we kind of do Merry Christmas, bye, Happy New Year, So it helps
Hilarious.
us, and our office staff is a little bit low, so just so that we don't have to be coming at the door every month or every 3 months to say
For
hello.
sponsorships and
Yeah,
stuff.
so we
Okay.
definitely been doing it like that. So we do have a December, a November to February, a March to May, and so forth. So we cover the major holidays. So in the one that comes out in a few days, you'll find we talk a little bit about Mother's Day, a little bit about Easter, and a little bit about Women's Month. And
Okay.
then the next one will be Father's Day, kind of graduation, and kind of we talk about people getting married, graduation, all of the hype
Okay.
for those
Yeah.
time, and then the back to school back in August to September.
All right,
Yeah, so
good, good stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so
Well,
there you
and
have it.
has it become easier for you as time goes on,
Nothing,
or
no, no.
everyone is just as stressful as the
Just
other?
as stressful. Somebody want to change the artwork in the last minute, or somebody, didn't make the artwork cut off, and the writers don't know to stay within 1,000 words, or those kind of
Yeah.
things. So you still get. There are times when I go to sleep and can get it done right this time,
Right.
but there are times when you just can't figure out which story should run as a cover story or which cover do you want to put on. So you do
Right.
have it. It's almost like when you're publishing for an author, you have to tell them, okay, we're giving you three samples of a cover,
Right.
choose from it, and then they still come back and. I'm looking
Yeah.
slant, so I talk over here.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know. Yeah,
Don't
okay,
look at me.
yeah, yeah, no.
But I just love the background of it because I think it's so simple. People think things are so simple. People just pick up these magazines,
Yeah.
in Foster's when you're shopping, and on the way out you'll pick it up because it's free. So
Yeah.
you pick it up and you go through it, and maybe you like this or you don't like that, or you'll say
Mm-hmm.
this or you'll say that, and you don't realize all of the work that comes with producing
Man,
this thing that you just easily pick up
and
off of the
I
stands,
know,
right?
I know.
So I
Yeah.
like that part of the backstory, but I also want to say that you also need people to continue to sponsor, to
Yeah.
continue to put their ads in there
Right,
because
right.
that's what's actually paying for the magazine. It's as
Don't
much
let
as
don't let my husband hear you say that's what we pay for it because he's been doing it.
it's
And then,
him,
yeah, okay, I
and
understand. I
yeah,
know. Yeah, it's
and that
always good to have good support.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the part that I'm getting at,
Hmm.
really. 2008 is how long this has been going on.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful staple in the community. I'm
Yes.
sure so many people appreciate it. So
Yeah.
many people take it for granted
Yeah.
that it shows up on these stands. It's an amazing magazine. and your husband's paying for it. No, absolutely not.
No,
Absolutely
he
not.
likes to think that he's paying for it. So let's backtrack. Pedal, pedal. Can you delete all of that?
All right,
Okay.
delete. She didn't say that.
Yeah.
But really, like, if you have a business, or
Mhm.
if you work for a company or whatever, reach out and put an ad in there. Like,
Yeah.
pay for the sponsor, because everybody benefits from this beautiful piece of work that is very encouraging.
Mhm.
There's tips in there. There are advice things.
Yeah.
There's lots. I mean, all it's Christian Lifestyles
That's
magazine. So
almost sound
it's
like you're coming back to write for us because
and,
you have so.
well, I was thinking while you were talking about these writers, I'm thinking that I write right now for the Urban Sentinel in Washington, and I have a company in California that, that I also write for. And I don't know if I write for Christian
That's
Lifestyles
the truth.
magazine, like, when they say a prophet is not a prophet
I
in his own
know.
land.
Are you telling me? I mean, like these local writers. I have people from the States, from Europe, from Canada contact me and said, "Can we publish and put an article in?" Actually, ever so often, somebody will send us a check from God knows where. They're coming through the island, and they said, "Oh, I picked up your magazine, and here's a check for continue the
Nice.
work and so forth." So we can't,
So
we
good.
won't discount the fact that there are people far and wide that
That is so good.
yeah.
That it
So
really is
and that's
so
what
good.
got me my start into the publishing anyway.
Yeah.
So
And
a visitor came in.
right now you could actually do like a Christian Lifestyles magazine gala once a year, and
Mm.
have all of the, because I mean, this is a very large Christian community, right?
Yeah.
And have everybody come and just celebrate this magazine, and walk away with enough money to publish for the next year. Like, why not? That'd be a thing, because you know
Awesome.
what? Because you're spreading all of this amazing positivity and hope and everything. Like, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
So this is really what I'm talking about. So great stuff. So Christian Lifestyle magazine, and then you got into publishing.
It's like I didn't learn.
But before I get there, because we're going to take a break in a few
Mhm.
minutes, and I don't want us to get into that story. I want, or should we spend the last half hour talking about your writing? What are you
Okay.
talking about? Because I think I want to talk about the publishing in the last half hour.
The publishing is fine.
So let's talk about some of the things that you have written. Okay, so you mentioned, first tell me what's your most, what I'm not going to ask what's your favorite, because do you have a favorite?
I don't know. I don't know if you can consider that I have a favorite. Um, I love to write, and when I'm not doing something, I'm writing. And I consider it's still doing something when I'm writing, but it's it's like, as you said, therapeutic.
Uh-huh.
And I just enjoy the fact that I can create this story that someone would pick up later on and say, "Wow, that's a great idea that you came up with this." So I don't know if I have a favorite. I just know I love to write.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the answer is they're all your favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
How to persevere took a little bit of toll on my spirit in the sense that it's more like you have to encourage, but you have to be real. Like, I had to say there are days when I just didn't want to get up.
okay.
And you have to find that energy or find that motivation to get up and push yourself forward. There was a time when some years ago when I wanted to just close out the magazine, close out everything, and
I remember
you
those times, and
yeah.
I was
So
like, "Stop! What
yeah,
foolishness are you talking about? You can't
exactly.
do that."
Yeah. So you find that even the best of encourager on a good day sometimes want to be encouraged, and so I had to find my own energy to push forward in most of these things, and that's my favorite so far.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I'm going to read just what's on the back of The Power to Persevere, by E.K. Jasmine, who we all know now as Karen Chin. Go and tell somebody.
Well,
It's The Power to Persevere is uplifting. The style is personal, but you can relate. We all have abilities far beyond what we use and what we think. We have minds capable of building spacecrafts to take us to the moon, or satellites to see far into the galaxies. However, some of us have yet to tap into our mind to produce the success we want. The same mental faculty that came up with Lemonade designed spaceships.
that's the truth.
I love that.
That's the
Well, I mean,
truth.
that just that alone is very, very, you kind of just motivating, right?
Yeah.
And of course, the quote that I always love from Dr. Martin Luther King, you have in the front of it: "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." And that's absolutely true. And so even the days when you don't feel like moving forward, you got to keep moving
Yeah. You
forward.
can't stop. It's
Yeah.
it's anti-productive.
It's,
I can't
yeah,
even think of the word right now.
counterproductive. It's
Counterproductive.
okay. You got a
Yeah.
lot of words in this book, so I
Oh,
understand if
yeah.
you're a loss for
When
words.
you're like, sometimes you just can't stop. Whatever you're
Right.
doing, it just keep beating the bush. If something will pop up, you
Right.
know.
Okay. And so I'll look at some of the chapters. Make a start. And so make a start basically says you got to start somewhere.
You have to. You're right here, right now. Just today, hearing my voice, hearing Catherine's voice, make a start. Just
Yeah.
decide. If you see me, you'll realize if she can manage to do that, you can do it as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And choose.
yeah.
We got to make a choice.
You
Every day
have
we're
to.
making a choice.
You have to. You have to. Of course, some of us wing it.
Yeah.
It's good. I got this on the control. Yeah, right. So
Fake
yeah,
it till you make it type of thing.
yeah,
Stay focused.
yeah.
Got to be focused on something.
Can you imagine? One of the things that I've learned in the last few years is you have to focus. And we were talking about that before we went on the air. Is that I am so busy. You're busy doing 15 things,
Right.
but which one is really getting your full energy?
Right.
And that is where you have to decide. Stay focused.
Wow.
Find that one thing that really you love, or you love to do, or it makes you happy to do, and stay focused and get it going.
Absolutely. Keep moving, as we talked about. Don't just stop, just keep moving.
Yeah.
I always that I have, and so in my first book, right, I limit my wallowing time.
Yeah.
Because I say sometimes you got to wallow,
I
sometimes
know.
you're depressed,
I
sometimes you're
know.
mad, sometimes you're upset, and come on, give yourself that moment, but
But
limit
let,
it. I say, all right, after I'm done this, I'm getting
That's
up.
why you do small invitations, because if you have too many people, they have to join you and give you their little two
Right.
cents and 2 cents and 2 cents, and
Stop
then you never.
then you
No,
end up with $1.
I know. You just stop, limit yourself to the amount of people that know that this is going on, and so you
Exactly.
have enough time to pull yourself from. Yeah,
Wow.
that's it.
I think husbands would say preach because they're tired of us telling their business, right? But you're so right, because sometimes you get so much information and it just gets confusing.
Yes,
And
yes.
so you're right. So
Yeah.
keep moving.
Yeah.
How long? Renewed exertion, the ever changing manifestations of friendship, blessed
Yeah.
assurance. And that's when we start talking about God,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, the ever changing. I in a small synopsis on that part is where I have some friends that we go walking. It might not show right now, but we go walking, and one can walk really fast, and I'm like,
Kind of
and
keep up.
yeah, and then there's one that I am like, come on.
Well, you
So
feel faster than her. That's good.
yeah, but then I used to get aggravated about it, but now I'm accepting it that they can't do the running for me or the walking for me. They're both helping me
In
along because
some way,
I am relaxed talking with this one, and I'm kind of moving.
motivated to
Yeah,
keep up with
yeah,
that one.
yeah. So
Yes, it's
it
a
works. Yeah,
balance.
yeah,
A
yeah.
balance. And then there's blessed assurance, and that would be
Um,
just
yeah,
blessed assurance.
yeah.
Just be assured it's going to be okay.
It's one of those things. You have to come back to the have. If you don't know two Bible verse or two motivational, inspirational, find one
Right.
and hold it. Even if you have to say ABC several times over, before some of us can pray, we have to say, "Gentle Jesus," or maybe "Our Father which art in heaven."
Right.
Go back to the basis and hold on to it at time. Stay with that one till you get it going, then move to two, because some of us trying to learn 10 things at the same time and not
Right.
holding on to one,
Not learning
but
one.
just go
Yeah,
back. So
exactly.
that is why I have that blessed assurance there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just keep rowing. Obviously, just keep it moving, right?
Yes,
Even
yes,
if you
yes,
don't feel like you're getting anywhere,
yes,
you're still
yes,
getting somewhere.
yes.
Tools necessary to succeed. How many tries? Destination, repeat. Preserving during hard times. God specializes. Whisper his name.
Yes.
I mean, I just want to give people just a little touch because they need to go and get this book.
That's
Where can they get the power to persevere before we go
um
on break?
Christian Enlightenment right now. I have one of the things I have, and you know that background story of mine. I stay in the background. I publish these books, and then I'm like, okay, I don't have the time to go put
Then
it
she
in the
runs
bookstore.
away.
I know. So I have not even done a book signing yet
Stop
in
it.
any of my books, but they're still selling, and that is a
Yeah.
good thing. So
Praise
I
God.
have not done one yet, and that's terrible.
Well, that's actually, that sounds like bragging. I've done none and they're selling. There's some people
Well,
who are doing, they're not selling.
okay, all right,
No,
all
that
right.
is blessings right
Yes,
there.
yes, yeah.
Thank you so much, Karen. You're going to stay with me. We're coming back for the other half hour. We'll be talking some more with Karen Chin, or EK Jasmine, whatever you want to call her. But her real name is Karen Chin, and she is the editor of the Christian Lifestyles magazine, the publisher, and also also the book publisher with CLM, and she's a published author of quite a few books. She doesn't even know how many because she doesn't do any book signings, but she's selling. And
Wow.
I'm just excited that she's here on Wellness Wednesdays. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
tuning in. Make sure you stay tuned because we're coming back with more. And we're going to be talking about the CLM publishing. So if you have that kind of writer's bug that you want to publish, well, this is the place and this is the lady. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more Straight Talk, your Drive at 5 show. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Straight Talk. This is your Drive at 5 show with Catherine Tyson, your host. And this is Wellness Wednesdays, and we are talking all things wellness right now. We're talking about, taking care of yourself. And sitting here with my guest, Miss Karen Chin, who is the lady behind Christian Lifestyles Magazine. I don't know why I keep putting Cayman in that. I don't know if we need to say Cayman Christian Lifestyles Magazine or what. I don't know if am I prophesying something, but Christian Lifestyles Magazine, as well as the editor. She's the editor of Christian Lifestyles Magazine, but she's also a book publisher with CLM Publishing, and she's a published author. And we were actually just talking before break about her book, The Power to Persevere. So if you're looking for something that is going to kind of get you out of that place where we all kind of get sometimes, where we need just a little nudge, right? A little pull, a little inspiration, a little motivation, that would be the book. And I am so excited that she has brought these for me. And if you're on the stream, you can see how excited I am that I'm showing you all the stuff that she has brought that I'm going home with tonight. And I'm going to be taking these 5 books that she has brought, that she has published and she's written for me to read, because no matter in what situation you're in, you always need somebody to help motivate you too.
Yeah.
So I might be the source of motivation for a lot of people. I know that. But who motivates me? Who is the person that I look to? And I think that's what we were talking about. That's so important, right? This Christian Lifestyle Magazines is something that we pass when we're shopping. We pick it up, as simple as that, and not realize all of the work that goes in, right? But we want to tell you thank you, like absolutely thank you for that, because it is a blessing. It's a blessing in so many people's lives. Been going on since 2008, and we really appreciate that,
Thank you.
And it's funny because as we were talking about the magazine before in the first half hour of the show, I kept thinking, you're so like humble, you're such a person that doesn't want this limelight, that you literally could have put your face on the cover like Oprah. Since 2008.
You don't want to joke
Do,
about
do
that
you
one.
see the old
I know,
magazine?
I
Come
know,
on.
I know. You know the first picture that went into the magazine. I went to my daughter's graduation
It's still the same picture.
at behave
It's
yourself. I changed it
ridiculous.
like 2 times.
Go get a photo
I
shoot. I'm
know.
tired of that picture now.
Oh,
And it's a beautiful picture.
I know, but you know what happened? That picture got in there because my graphic designer decided you can't put this out there without a picture. I said it can go out there without a picture. He said no.
It's
So he
ridiculous.
pulled that picture from the graduation pictures them that we have
Good.
and put it there. And
Good.
I've not been convinced to change it
Oh
since.
goodness. You have just not had the right person, like, just nudging you, pulling you along. Because technically, like, really, this is it's your baby. It's the baby that you birthed here, but it is not even that you birthed it for yourself. You birthed it to bless everybody else
Exactly.
with.
That's why I don't need a picture. Come
Yeah,
on,
no, you do.
that's why I don't need the photograph in there because it's actually wasn't a me
How are you gonna
personally.
get your blessings? Listen,
I got it.
there might be buckets of blessings waiting for you, but they don't know who to give it to.
Awesome. I
Think
will tell you
about
this.
it. They
Wait,
don't
wait,
know
wait,
who to give
wait.
it to.
This is my thing about handbags, and you know, ladies don't like to put their handbags on the ground,
Right.
right?
And
But
mine is
not me.
always
Mine,
everywhere.
come on, mine goes on the ground because the one that blesses me, he knows that's my handbag,
Yeah.
but it's on the top shelf or the bottom
Well,
shelf.
I will.
So I don't
Well,
have a.
I'm saying that the Lord knows that who He's supposed to bless, but there's a couple of other people who are looking around trying to give you something, and they
Okay,
can't find you. They think
I'm going out for a
they're
photo shoot
looking
right
they're
now.
looking for E.K. Jasmine.
Okay, I'm going out for a
They've been
photo
passing
shoot.
Karen Chin for years.
I
They
know, I
don't know
know, I
she's
know.
E.K. Jasmine. Come on, get
Awesome.
with it. Get with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And so you started CLM publishing around what time then? Which year was that then?
2009.
Okay, which has
Yes.
been long. It's so long, and no one knew that.
How comes
Because
and I have 80
I
something?
published my first book in 2009. I had no idea that you had a publishing company in 2009, or I would not have looked outside of here.
Well, king has no honor in this country,
You
or probably
see,
so
I
that
didn't hear about it.
probably it's what it is.
Why don't you
It's
beat a
just
bigger drum? Yeah, you
okay.
gotta be,
Okay,
like that.
sorry.
That's what we want
Okay.
today. We definitely
All
want
right.
people to know if you want to publish a book, we have a book publisher on island, see,
Yes,
in the
yes.
form of CLM Publishing.
Yes, we do. And we have grown for in the number of years. In the last 5 years, we have like speed along. We were doing like 1 or 2 books per year before, or 3 books and so on. So we're at about 80 something books by now.
That you've
So
published
yes,
altogether. Wow,
yes,
that's
yes,
great.
yes. So it is it is, and at the beginning we didn't want to open the door too wide because
Were you always playing small?
yeah,
That's what I'm hearing. I'm
yeah.
hearing like I
Well,
think 2021 now
well,
needs to
well,
have taught you something since last year.
well,
Like, come on.
well, consider it this way. My publishing ability with my laptop and everything else was, it could be a one-man show.
Okay.
So doing 5, 10 books is a lot for a
Right.
one person.
Right.
Some people have 150,000 words, while some people just have 1,500 words. So it needed pace, it
Okay.
needed time, and so forth. And over the years, I've brought on X, Y, Z, and so forth. So it's more, I would say, organized.
Okay.
It was organized then, but I'm not killing myself with overload. I'm not
Right.
working into 1 a.m. I still love it though, because that's my time. 1, 2 a.m. is my time.
Right.
I like the quietness. I like
Because everybody's sleeping.
yeah,
No
it's
phones are
no phone.
ringing.
That's
Yeah.
my time. I write a lot. Even though my husband would knock and say that, it's Karen, you don't see the time. I'm like, are you my
In other
father?
words, no, you're not coming to bed with my hug up.
No, no, no. I am in the bed with the
Oh,
laptop.
okay. So
No, when I said
turn off the
knocking,
light. I
knocking,
want
not the
sleep.
screen. But I'm always like, are you my father? I
Okay.
left
Well,
him.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's not like no. I meant it like it's a joke
Of
between us.
course.
Every
Of
time he
course.
said, "Karen, you see the time? Are you my father?"
Yeah.
So, but it's been a little bit less than the father time kind of thing. It's my time when I feel that the whole world is quiet
Of course.
and more ideas
I
pouring
know.
in,
Yeah.
and I'm always ready for a new idea. And as you said, I'm busy behind some stuff that like the Gospel Festival years ago, the Gospel Best, the Cayman Literary Awards. There's so many other stuff that I get involved in that if I don't take those quiet times for myself, I probably would have been
Absolutely.
Information overload are burnt out
And
already.
if you speak to a group of women like me, like you, they
Yeah,
say the same thing. That's a
yeah,
time that they're very fertile,
yeah,
that ideas are flowing. Like I get up
yes,
3 o'clock in the morning, I have to put things on my notepad in my
yeah,
phone, or I'll
yeah,
forget it the next
yeah,
day, and they're like the most amazing ideas.
yes,
So yeah, that's
yeah,
definitely like a
yeah,
common thing. Now you mentioned the Cayman Literary Awards. That's something that you started as well
yes,
a couple of years ago.
yes. And
I got an award there too,
yes, you
by the way.
did.
Just saying,
Congrats on that.
I'm somebody's
And
mama got an award
yeah,
there.
and we have started the literary society as well, and we're pushing. The thing is, I'm brilliant at ideas. I will not. I can shine light on that.
Yeah,
Ideas ever flowing. I can look inside here and said, hey, what about this idea?
right.
But the thing is, I'm only one person.
That's right.
And
That's
we
right.
started a women fellowship and we're doing all of these things. And in the middle of all of that, I was also involved with Cayman Believers, which is a huge industry. I mean,
Right.
huge female connection right there. And then I'm at the Ritz or at the other events and so forth. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You gotta
So
clone yourself.
I know, and then I'll be vexed with myself anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
but
All right, so the Cayman Literary Awards is still, it's still
it's
something.
still
So but
something that
last
is
year
there.
some things were affected by
Right,
COVID,
right.
obviously.
COVID, and the year before we had some entries, but it was it needed. We are looking for some streams of authors, not just the everyday one book, one book, one book, one book. So we had in the year that you won an award, we had a good number of people then. But they are the same writers that are gonna come back this year, and they
Okay.
can't come back this year.
Ah,
You remember you have to wait 2 years before you can go back in.
okay, I didn't
So
know.
yeah, if
Okay.
once you win something, you have to step back. If
Oh,
you if
okay.
you if you won an award, then you have to, or if you win something, then you have to step back. Any major event that is going on anywhere, once you have the major first, second, or third prize, I'm sure that for clarity and for whatever, you have to keep away from going for the award again,
Okay.
or else it'll be the same
To give other
person.
people a
Yeah, so
chance.
to give other
Okay.
people a chance. So the same set of people were coming in back with, so we said, no, let's pause. But then COVID happened last year. So
Okay.
who knows? We may have to do a pump the iron, shake the trees, or
Yeah.
something to
Right.
get it going.
See
But
what
it's still
drops.
there. And with CLM, it's, as I said, doing all this by just one person, you come to the point where you say, no,
Yeah, you
you
got to
need to,
step back with
yeah,
some
yeah.
things. Yeah,
So,
and it's good to inspire younger people too, to kind
yeah,
of help along so that those things continue. Because as we get to a point where we want to slow down a little bit, we don't
yeah.
want things to just fall by the wayside.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
important too.
Continuity is very important, and any nation that is just building just for today, it's not going to survive. So
Exactly.
you have to make sure that there is the next person holding the baton, the next person, you pass it on to someone else. And that is why um, things that I've created, I don't create it as me, because at the end of the day, I'm just passing through,
Right.
not necessarily passing through Cayman, but passing through this life.
Yeah.
So somebody else should be able to take it up and still find that I don't put any, I would say, any big stamp on it and says it cannot be run unless it's my family running it, or it
Right.
cannot be continued unless it's. I don't have that kind not that I'm leaving the door open too wide, but I'm making sure that if you want to take the event that I've started and do something with it, once you're carrying it on in the right and proper way, I'm all right with that.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, you gotten to that point too where
yeah.
you're like, okay, I gotta let go of 10 of these things.
I
It's
know,
too
I
much.
know.
I need a
Are
little
you saying I'm
time.
old?
No, not at all. Are you kidding me? You're younger than I am, so no, absolutely not. What did COVID bring? Like, what's the results of COVID then for the demand right now? And what are some of your learnings from COVID? That's what I'll
Well,
ask you.
in the book, The Power to Persevere, that is why it has been one of my faves. I wrote it from 2015, but I don't publish everything that I write. I just write it, and it was sitting with me. Everything was ready, and then COVID happened, and so I had to include that chapter that says persevering through difficult times, because here it is, COVID. I was talking about persevering, and if you read the first paragraph, it's almost saying, "Wow, I'm telling you, persevere," but who would have thought that this thing that you'd have to think to persevere through? Because It's
Right.
nothing like what I was thinking. I was saying persevere through the dry weather or a little bit of storm or a little bit of sandstorm, but not something as drastic that affect the entire world and
Right.
jobs and your family and your distance from,
Right.
you know. So here is where
Something you
you,
never thought would have happened, huh?
that's it. So you have to now realize that you, and you know, one of the things that COVID taught me, as well as I'm coming back to your question, but one of the things COVID, this season of this issue, not necessarily COVID, but the season that we're in, it shows that you're capable of more than you thought. Because last year before COVID, many people were like, oh, I'm not gonna make it. This is not going my way. And then COVID happened, and the same people that were saying that they're not gonna make it are the ones that are making it now. Are the ones that are saying, you know what, I won't let this thing get the better of me or so. So you're trumpeting a new slogan after you started out saying, oh, COVID happened, and this is the end of it, and the end of it. Hurricane Ivan happened.
Right.
Twin Tower happened. You
Right.
know, and so many things happen,
Yeah.
and you
And we made it
persevere
through.
through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it tells you that it's in front of you. Face it, like you've been asking me for an interview for many years now, and I keep putting it behind. But it becomes a heightened thing over my head. Like I can't really go to the radio station. I can't really go and it becomes such an over something that you can even hyperventilate if possible by
Right.
putting it off. Go through it
Right.
and look at
Walk
it.
through it.
Look at
Yeah.
it. I bet you won't
Absolutely.
bug me again. I'm just kidding.
No, it's awesome. I can't. I'm wondering when we are going to be able to do like a show with each other. That'd be awesome. The
Yeah,
power to persevere. That is what you need to go and grab a copy of. All my listeners, go find it. It is at Christian Lifestyle. Is it? What's it
Christian
called?
enlightenment.
Christian Enlightenment Center, as well as how can they reach you?
All right.
Some a
Easiest thing.
simple way. Come on.
uh,
Yeah, simple.
the easiest way is always email for me. I my cell is 345-926-2507. That's my
Okay.
cell, 345-926-2507. I'm not a WhatsApp trumpeting WhatsApp person. You know, sometimes you send me a message and
Right.
you say, oh, I sent you a message.
Right.
I will see it, but it's not gonna get my attention immediately.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, but email anytime through email, and you have always known that. Send me an email and you get a response
And
immediately in a sense.
what's
So,
email?
production at clmpublishing.com.
Okay.
That's
Production at
yeah,
clmpublishing.com.
that's easy because the others are gonna have to say Karen that chin that's so forth. So, but once I say production at clmpublishing.com, I will also see that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple of other books. Before Evil Walks. You want to get this? Tell us just a little bit about this because I want to get to the Cayman ones because they're very, very interesting.
Okay, the Before Evil Walks, contrary to the name, a lot of people think it's about Christianity before, the world separated with Satan and God and all of this evil and all. No, it's not. It's growing up in Jamaica, I had some difficult roads, real difficult, real. I mean, if you read the book, you'll say, "Oh my gosh, girl, you're living." But the school I was going to, the primary school I was going to, because of the area that I was living in, the area, the principal at the school took an interest in us and she said, you guys live in that real bad area. Let's get you home before evil walks.
Okay.
So she would dismiss
Wow.
us, those who from that district, while we were on. We never liked the evening shifts
Oh
because
wow.
it was shift system. Then morning you have to come up before day. Evening worse because you're walking into the night. We walk far, very far. So before evil walks is about that journey that I took. She always say, get out, let's get those kids from that area out
For
before
Evil
evil
Walks.
walks because it
Wow.
was like madmen and
Yeah.
gunmen and everything possible. So we had a real journey. But the amazing thing is I turned it into a small comedy style, everything
Okay.
that, I come across, like my dad, everything you said, Dad, we need more pencil. I always say, chorus with me, choir. They don't have any money, so I turn it into a little kind of comedy kind of thing. Because
Okay.
every time you say to my dad, school is going on a trip. We don't have any money. We had an outhouse for those who probably know what that was.
Right.
So when night come, you don't want to go outside, and so we always say, "Daddy, put a bathroom on the house now."
We don't have
We
any
don't have
money.
any money. So I just say, chorus me with me quiet. By now you
Okay.
know the word. We don't have the money. So it's
Exactly.
more, it's humorous, and it's my life, but it's really uh, real bad then. But I turn it into
Yeah.
a softer read. So
Yeah.
most people would say, "Can I get at number two?" Because it ends with a little twist, and everybody's saying, "When is book number two coming out?" And I'm
Right.
like, I don't get to that point yet.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the title is kind of paying homage to
Yes,
the
this
statement before
yes
evil walk. Let me
before
get you home, get these children home before evil walks.
yes. So the principal
Like,
then at the school that I was attending. Yes.
okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay. And so I'm looking at a two books that are very interesting, and I told you I think they should be in every school in the Cayman Islands, every primary school in the Cayman Islands. Um, this
Did
one
you
is.
plug into the education department yet? Get a call.
I
I'm gonna
already
get
told
some
you
money.
when we work out my percentage, we're getting these into so but we gotta talk first,
Oh,
okay?
okay, okay.
Come on, we're not trying to we're working
Okay,
smarter, not
agent,
harder.
agent, come on, you're signed on.
Okay, good. So it's the Cayman Islands trivia, a fun but deep rooted Q&A with EK Jasmine, but I'm going to be looking at that in a couple of minutes. But this one, the Cayman Islands A through Z, this is actually a children's book, and it has, like for instance, it has one part of it says A is for airplane, and the more you know. An airplane is a vehicle designed for air travel that has wings. Cayman Airways airline, established in 1968, is the national flag carrier of the Cayman Islands. And
Yeah,
so everything is basically just
go back to
Cayman,
Cayman.
yeah,
Yes.
Cayman trivia, which is lovely for like, and there's a little kid there, so and it looks
Mm-hmm.
like it's for maybe like a preschool or grade
One,
one,
grade
grade
one.
two,
Yeah, yeah.
B is for boat. Cayman heritage is rich with boat building skills, especially the cat boat. B is also for botanic, relating to plants. The Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park, located in the northern part of Grand Cayman, is the place for the island's history, nature walks, and family fun. And it goes on from A to Z. And
Yes.
I love that. Like there's Cocoa Plum, C for Cocoa Plum, and O for Orchid, and
My favorite
just
H, hero.
okay, let's look for H. H is, I'm going to find H now. H is for heroes. Heroes.
Mm.
To date, the Cayman Islands has named 9 national heroes. The Honorable Sybil McLaughlin is the only living one, 2019. And they have photos of all of them. Honorable James Manoa Bawden, Honorable Sybil McLaughlin, Honorable Thomas William
You don't have to call all the
Farrington,
way to the end. Huh?
yeah, Honorable Sybil Joyce Hilton. I can't leave him out. Honorable Ormond L. Panton, Honorable Desmond Veer Watler, Honorable Mary Evelyn Wood, Honorable William Warren Connolly, and Dr. the Honorable Roy Edison MacTaggart. And it
Mm-hmm.
says H is for also for heritage, which means tradition, custom, legacy. Know your heritage. This is very important. Ask your grandparents, parents, or teachers about it. And I is for iguana. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just goes from A to D. So this is HC, really, really good. Where can they pick up a copy of this?
Books and books.
Books and books
And book
also.
nook.
Okay, so books and books, Book Nook. You got to go grab one of those for your grandchildren, your small children. If you're a teacher, you want to grab that to read to your classes. Now, Cayman Islands trivia, which I love. This is a book about the compact. This is Compact Cayman Islands Trivia helps you to discover the Cayman Islands history, places of interest, and fun facts from as early as 1503. The questions in this book make information about the Cayman Islands both easy and fun. Learning more about the Cayman Islands or your country of birth is the most important thing you can do. It's also exciting. Have fun. Quiz yourself and your friends and family. Okay, let's start with some of these little questions here from this book. And it's a tiny little pocket book you can put in your pocket. It's lots of fun. Let's see. 235. True or
Awesome.
false? The wild banana orchid is an epiphyte,
On your own with that.
which means that it grows on another plant but does not harm it in the way a parasitic plant would. Is that true or false?
Ah, that word that you just read. Can you do it again? I'm just
No, I'm
kidding. It's
not.
true. It's our national. The wild banana orchid is our national flower. So yeah.
She probably wants to correct me. Go ahead, I don't
No,
care.
I don't try it. If you notice, I keep away from many words. I go for the simple ones.
Okay. All
Conversation
right.
flows better.
So there you go. So true or false? The national flag carrier Cayman Airways was established in 1919.
Nope.
I'm going to say false because we just read that it
Yes,
wasn't 1919,
1968.
1968. That's what I thought. See,
Okay.
using my noggin. All right, and let's see. What is the true name of the privately owned Triple C school?
Awesome.
Who
That's a
knows
good
that? What
one.
is
What
that
is
one?
a Christian?
Huh?
I'll give you the first word, Christian.
A creative Christian character? Great. So it's not the first one.
No,
Triple C.
oh, creative.
Creative Christian character. How do I know that? Because I went to Triple C school.
Awesome, awesome.
All
Me too with
right.
that one.
This is good. Okay, true or false? Sidonie Mothersill has represented the Cayman Islands at 5 Olympic Games. True or false?
That's on you. That sounds
No,
on you.
no, that
That's you.
wouldn't be me. I'm asking
See,
you. You wrote the book.
yeah, but how long ago?
We gotta find it. We gotta.
What's the
Okay, what is
question?
it?
I do it by question.
228. You stop.
220. I go by questions. If you tell me the question,
It's true.
it's true.
It's true, by the way, because guess what? She has it in the back of the book. She has all the answers. It's a really fun book. Like you
Yes.
have to grab a copy of this book, and this is at Book Nook and Books and Books as well.
No, you probably have to get that straight from CLM.
Look at that. You
I
see,
know.
you see the foolishness you do. I'm the agent now. I'm going to sell this book for you. I'm not
I
playing.
know. It's. I get them done, and then I'm like, okay, what's next? And
Okay.
that is the honest truth.
All right. So, okay. True or false?
Question.
230. The
230.
Cayman Islands government does not allow export of raw coral. True or false?
Oh, true.
That's true. You
True.
see. So if you didn't know that, these are some things that you would actually, you would actually go and figure out. Now, let me ask you a question,
Mhm.
because you're not gonna nothing else do it yourself. I can see. Where? How did you come up with? Let me see. It's 325 questions, and there's some of them are
And
true or false, and some of them
you have to fill
are
in the
just
answer.
trivia.
Yeah.
What? You need to go to sleep. Your husband is right, Karen. You don't see the time.
Listen, one night
This is
just before
funny.
I fell asleep, I said, I'm done with all the books that I've done. I need something else. And every time you ask like that, you will receive ask. I said, I need something else. I need another Cayman centered book because I have three so far. And I said, I need another Cayman centered. I'm trying to push more of these local stuff in because my daughter doesn't like, she doesn't want me to tell the story, but a little in background of it. I asked her, name your national hero.
Right.
And
Yeah, my daughter didn't know what guavas are, and I'm like, we are so ridiculous.
we didn't
How do they not know
these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was from that I just started doing these books. I was in no, I won't tell you where I was because it sounds like I traveled the world instead of staying in Cayman.
It sounds like you have a fabulous life. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. So I was in a particular place and I saw that they had the countries A to Z, the countries this, ABC, the countries that.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Why don't we have one?
We don't. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I saw it, so it came to me, so I just came home and get it done.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So the questions are simply put, but deep rooted. They're entertaining and educational. Quiz yourself on how much you know. You will be surprised. Sometimes all you need is a reminder of the things you know, but might have forgotten. That's it. The author hopes that after reading this book, you will meet the people, explore the places, and see the events that helped shape the Cayman Islands. Have fun. But before I say goodbye to you and thank you for being my guest, I'm going to read this that I see. Mr. James A. and Mrs. Eulalie Hibbert, my parents, whose 138 United States dollars brought me to the Cayman Islands in 1989. Thank you.
Awesome.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that
yes.
because that basically tells us, okay, I've been here since 1989 and my parents, a couple of dollars, bought my ticket and got me here.
But I had to pay them back several times over.
Well, you should.
I know.
You should still be paying that back. Those are your parents, you know.
I know. I know. It's fun to I'm so happy that they took the investment and took the step. I have another book on the journey I took when I came to Cayman, and
What's that called?
Yeah.
What's that one called?
An
Or are you
Ascent
working
Journey.
on it?
It's published, but I don't bring it to the public.
Okay.
It's published, but it's called An Ascent Journey.
Okay.
And that in itself will explain the first night I came to the Cayman Islands, I practically slept outside.
Okay.
So
There
it's and you look at me now.
But from whence we come.
I know.
Absolutely. You almost slept outside in 1989, and look at you now. Look at
me
you now.
Yeah.
Up at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
Coming up with 300 and something questions for a little book. And thank you so so much for doing that for us. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for everything that you contribute. Thank you for being a part of our tapestry. We
Yes.
appreciate that and tell Victor we're very happy. Congratulations to him for giving us Karen Chin, EK
Mm.
Jasmine.
It keeps
And
me here. Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, he
Yeah.
did. He
Yeah.
did. And you all have produced some fine contributors to society as well in the form of your children. So
Yes.
we always want to say that. But thank you so much, Karen, for joining me.
Sure.
That was Karen Chin, editor of Christian Lifestyles Magazine, book publisher with CLM, a published author. Go pick up her stuff at Book Nook or Books and Books or Christian Enlightenment Center, or email her at, once again,
Production at CLM Publishing, CLMpublishing.com.
okay, or call her at 9 2,
26. You should know.
go ahead, 9 2, so
Nine
I
two
call it
six two
enough.
five zero 926-2507.
Okay, 926-2507.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you're interested in just, getting involved, finding out some
Getting your
more
own book
stuff,
published.
publish your own book. She's
Uh-huh.
actually publishing my second book, which I'm excited about.
Yes.
And that should be, she's on my back a lot. So it should soon happen. Thank you
No, man, the
all.
right word is soon come.
Yeah, yeah, it's coming. It's
Yeah.
there. It's almost there.
Yes.
Thank you so much again, Karen. This has been fun. This is
I
amazing.
enjoyed it. Thank you.
It is International Women's Month, and women should uplift each other, and we should be beacons of encouragement to people in the world. And you, my friend, are a beacon of encouragement to all women, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you once again for tuning in this afternoon. This was your Wellness Wednesdays show, and this is your Drive at 5 Straight Talk. Catherine Tyson, your host, and I will talk to you tomorrow. So take care and have a great evening.
Awesome. At one point, I was touching that because it cuts out, but then I said maybe it's this. That's